Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Dr. Tahir at Family Pediatrics, and today we have Sydney and Mom Julie here joining us. And Sydney was telling me about her really nice job that she has, and we're really proud of her doing so good in her job, and brought back some memories of one of the first jobs that I had. And one of the first jobs that I ever had was working at McDonald's. And that was, I think, when I was about 16, 17 years old. And that's how old you were since you've been working. So I applied at McDonald's, and I thankfully got the job, and I was so happy. And the next couple of days, I went there and I got my McDonald's uniform and everything, and then I was going to come for some orientation and start working. So next week, I went in and started working, and it started training me on how to make hamburgers and things on their grill. And, nothing really too hard, right? I mean, not a big deal, I'm thinking. Well, it's really easy system they had, where you get the patties and you put them on the hot plate, and you press a little buzzer, and then you wait for the buzzer to go off. When the buzzer beeps, then you turn the patties over again, and then you press the button, and the buzzer goes off, and you're done. So you take the patties off, and you make the burgers. Well, it's easy enough, right? But what happens if you get more than one order? Well, there's only one buzzer. Like, what do you do? Okay? So, really? So I get, okay, we need 3 hamburgers. So I, use a buzzer and put the 3 patties on, and I'm cooking the patties, and then somebody's like, well, we need 5 more patties. I'm thinking, wait a second, I only have one buzzer. What do I do? Right? So then I just started making my own patties without the buzzer. I would just put the patties on and let them cook, and turn them over and let them cook. And I'd make all the patties, and then could put the burgers together, but my burgers would never come out nice. My ketchup was always off-centered, and my lettuce would fall off one edge of it, and the top and the bottom buns weren't even, and they'd be like that, and I'd wrap them all up and say, okay, here you go. So not too long from then, about a week later, the manager comes up to me. He goes, Zig, your burgers are really kind of bad looking. So they reviewed with me how to make burgers, and I learned about the bottom bun and the patty and the mustard and the ketchup and the little onion and the pickle and anyways, my burgers would just never come out good. So I think about 3 weeks later from when I started, the manager comes to me. He goes, Zig, you've tried really hard, but it's not working out. He's like, we're gonna put you on high and low duty. I said, all right, that's no problem. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what high and low is, but all right, fine, I at least have a job, all right? So I got my new schedule, and the new schedule is you come to work at 9 p.m. and you leave at 3 a.m. in the morning, and high and low is cleaning the floors and scrubbing the floors duty, and cleaning all the toilets and the bathrooms and janitor work, but the hardest thing was scrubbing the floors. Now, if you've seen some of those old cartoons, you see those slaves on the ships scrubbing the floors of the ship. And that's what I was doing. It was really hard, and I'm thinking, my God, I can't keep going on with this. So I would come home at 3 o'clock in the morning, all tired, and I'd have cleaned all the toilets and cleaned all everything, sinks, bathrooms. And I'm thinking, I just can't do it anymore. Now, my parents were really happy because our house was perfectly clean then, because I'd cleaned the bathrooms, I'd cleaned the toilet, I'd cleaned everything. So then one day I went to McDonald's, said, you know what, that's it, I don't really want to continue working. And they're like, all right. I said, well, what do I do now? They're like, well, just bring the uniform back and you're done. I said, okay, well, that's pretty easy. I don't know if it is that simple anymore, though. That was a while ago. So then the next job, I was looking for a job after a while. I was applying, and my next job was at a Kids R Us store, okay? Now, there's a Toys R Us store. I don't know if Kids R Us is still around, but at that time, they had another little branch called Kids R Us, where they didn't have toys, but they had clothes for kids. Same kind of a kids backward R Us, okay? It was a Toys R Us company. So I got a job. I was going to go for the interview there, and I was talking with the manager. And we're talking about, all sorts of different things. Then he's like, well, Zig, what kind of a job, what is it that you want to be doing here? I said, I was working at McDonald's before, and I was cleaning toilets, scrubbing floors, vacuuming, scrubbing, and I'll do anything but that. I just don't want to do that anymore. He's like, well, that's the only job we have available. So, So I said, okay. I said, you know what? This is a different place. It's a nice place. Anyways, I was a janitor there for a long time, and I would always come really nicely dressed and pants and a tie and a shirt, and I was probably the nicest dressed person there. But that's what I did for a long time at Toys R Us. I was a janitor. I'd clean, scrub, and I was really good at that. And so that went on for a long time. So anyways, that was some of the stories of my early jobs. Okay?
Very nice.
Yeah. And other stuff happened